Alright, y'all, so we're here with a no item run in the Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu new difficult stage. And this stage is, again, in my opinion, arguably the hardest stages in the game. I think, there's still the argument for festival battles, of course, but I think that this fight is very, very tough in a different way from festival battles. Now, you may see at the beginning I have a bit of cord issues. This is before, funny enough, funny thing. I figured out that I always thought that with, like, Samsung phones in general, that you would need like an HDMI splitter, because there's a thing called HDCP, and that blocks you from recording things with like an Elgato. But apparently that's not needed anymore, and I had no idea for years. So I've been using HDMI splitter at this time, right? And you see I even restarted the event because of that. And I didn't need that, so I don't have really this issue anymore. But in this video, there's a little bit of resetting because, like, of that, but yeah. Anyways, we do have a very interesting selection here. I think that Kael Khalifa is a character that I'm not really seeing people run them in this event, but they're actually quite good here for a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, again, the thing about this event is that locking with Zamasu is extremely dangerous and could put you in very unfavorable situations. So you want to go ahead, at least with this team build, aim for Zamasu first and get that guy out of the way, because he could very easily lock a weak character in slot 1 and just put you in an extremely bad spot, right? But that's why I think Tech, Kel, and Khalifa, I actually really like them here, because they have the baseline 70% chance to dodge. It's definitely nothing crazy out of the ordinary, right? But with that 70% chance to dodge, I think things can actually come in clutch. And on the next turn, as long as they get 3 attacks in, they will have a 90% chance to dodge, which is really, really huge. Now, that is a little bit like RNG based on, like, okay, they have to get the 3rd additional, because if you're not running a Universe Survival Saga character in the team, it can be an issue. But I have seen people run, let's say, the Ichiyori Goku under the team without a leader skill and done just fine, right? And again, I'm going to be doing a bunch of no item runs for like a bunch of different teams. I already have like 2 other runs basically set to go that I'll be recording at the Towel team as well. Very fun. And I'm just going to be trying a bunch of different options that I think could be really cool in this event, right? But we're just going to start things off with the Blues team, just because it is probably one of the easier runs to do, of course, once you get the correct team build. But at the same time, this team is quite top heavy, I would argue, to where, like, the best units are, like, the year 10 fusions, right? And those characters could be very disadvantageous in here. So again, you really gotta get lucky with, like, how locking is on this team, especially if you're going to use a tier 10 fusion. So Blue Goku here, of course, 80% dodge chance, providing defensive support. We also got quite lucky that the AoE from this guy was after attacking, though we did dodge with the characters that we needed to. It was also unlucky that Zamasu basically healed at the end. And this is a second turn where I did, again, get very lucky. Again, Zamasu's locking, did go ahead and get Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel locked in slot 1, the Agio Gogeta card. And again, we all know he's not a slot 1 character by any means, but I was very glad that I was able to go ahead and put this guy in that spot right there. So again, that worked out very well for us. And the fact that there's no attacks before attacking, right? And again, that's where, like I said, RNG really comes into play when it comes to these runs. You gotta get the perfect RNG in many situations, especially, again, I feel like if you're running the year 10 fusions, there's been many times where Vegeto's locked someone and he dies, Gogeta's locked on someone and he dies, but if you are able to get them to turn 5, that's, again, going to be really huge for you. So I did push Tech Vegito off because I think, 1, I wanted to avoid him, potentially getting AoE'd by Rose as much as possible, but 2, when he would come back around, he would actually be able to fuse into Super Vegito, and Super Vegito would be able to full heal us. He'd give us the Scouter ability, right? Multiple different things that would be beneficial. And Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta here is going to be really huge in terms of the damage he'll do to Rose Goku Black at the end. So we definitely need him to be our slot 1 character, because again, once Zamasu's dead, we don't have to worry about locking anymore. I would still say, though, that is about, like, still 70% of the fight really getting Zamasu done. Once Goku Black's there, you can start, like, debuffing him and kind of moving your rotations around, but he still hits very hard, and that AoE could be extremely devastating to many characters. However, many of these characters, like, by the time we get, like, Zamasu dead, it's like we have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the attack Super Saiyan Blues, right? They're transformed from the gods into blues. Super Gogeta, Super Vegito, potentially Kefla, right? Lots of different abilities. Kefla, again, I did talk about it earlier, but if you get to turn 6, he will provide you a heal as well. So there's a lot of, like, late game healing here. It's really about getting the good rotations early on. But we see, again, Super Saiyan Goku, once he's able to attack, he's pretty much good to go still. I think that he's a little underrated in this fight. I think people think that he's completely unrunnable. I don't think that's the case. Same with Gogeta. I do not think these characters are, like, unrunnable as people were thinking. They're still very good here. I mean, I think Zamasu may super Goku here. Or yeah, like Rose supers Goku here. Goku does, of course, still take some damage, of course. Actually, no, he dodges. Never mind. I'm not gonna lie. Goku will still take damage there. That dodge is very huge. I'm pretty sure he does take the Zamasu super for very little damage. Yeah, double digits. Goku's so good here. We did get lucky with that dodge, though, I will definitely say. But we have all these tech orbs lined up as well, so that's pretty good for us. Blue Goku, I was like, I wanted to grab the tech key spheres with Kale and Caulifla, but I think I decided the 18 key up buff was much more important for us. That lets us grab the STR key spheres with the Kale and Caulifla right there. And then the LR Gods, I also wanted to make sure they got some stacks in. Unfortunately, they got locked out of place. But at the same time, Kale and Caulifla being able to send slot 2 with their 90% dodge chance, I think was also a good lock. Like, we didn't get really put in a bad space again. And even if the AoE was in slot 1, we wouldn't have really been in trouble. Now, another thing is that getting double blue Goku is not as bad as you would think in the first rotation. If it's like one in slot 1, one in slot 3, and then you kind of have to float one off, because it comes back around at turn 4 and could be a really strong slot 1 option on that turn 4 where it's like, maybe it could be one turn before you have Super Gogeta or Super Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta could be out there, but like if he's on rotation already, then, it would be a little bit of an issue. So I'm thinking, it is very nice that, what's it called, this character is able to be floated around if you need him to. Like, he's not locked to slot 1. I think a lot of characters that are as good defensively as this guy is just locked to slot 1, and that is not the case. Again, we see Kale and Caulifla, 90% chance of dodge, just absolutely cooking here. And, next turn they will go back down to the 70% chance of dodge, but they'll still have a pretty good amount. And at this point, they've gotten a couple of stacks. Kale and Caulifla stack up really, really, really quickly. They are able to get their defenses up really nicely. And the gods here, of course, no issues with them dying. They have their one turn 77% reduction. So, again, with how everything played out in terms of that second rotation, I think we could have very easily been dealt a very bad hand. But that second rotation was really good for us, even though we had double year 10 fusions, which is, why I would say, even if you get a little bit unfavorable rotations, still is a decent idea to continue on going with it, because you never know how this is going to turn out with like blocking and stuff like this. So again, like for example, Rose's AoE was in slot 1, but the thing is that we're going to be able to actually get the Super Saiyan Blue Goku kind of ability if I needed to. Now right here I was thinking, I was like, okay, I'm probably going to fuse into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because Ki is also very bad here. Like, he was just astronomically bad. And it would also give me the Scouter ability. Now, I was like, okay, what should I do here to be completely safe? I decided I was going to let Super Saiyan Blue Goku send in slot 1. As you see right here, we're able to get the 18 key. I wanted to make sure Vegeta was still able to get a couple of supers in, or maybe heal a little, but I was like, trying to see how the key would fall down as well for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So grabbed those orbs with you, with the Super Blue Goku, and decided to grab, I believe those Age Old key spheres there, and then that let me get a decent amount of key with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to the point where he would get his 18 key. Of course, still attacking Zamasu. Very unfortunately, Zamasu's only attack at the end was his super attack. So with that in mind, Zamasu, we're basically gonna disable his super. which is unfortunate, right? But it's not really that big of a deal. The biggest thing is that I wanted to get another stack with this blue Goku, and I wanted to make sure that we got the 18 key raise. I considered using Goku's active skill here as well, but I think, you know, okay, it's not that time yet. Really, I start popping these active skills when I'm like, yeah, okay, we could definitely, like, kill Zamasu here, right? Because he's going to continue healing every single turn, but of course, we're whittling him down, right? These active skills will be really good for, like, confirming these kills with this guy, so that's the important thing. After the 18 key raise, Vegeta doesn't take that much damage from the AoE, and we're good. And again, I felt very good because Vegeta was able to be safe in slot 2 without having to worry about the Zamasu super. Even, yeah, so that's nice, right? Where again, we were dealt pretty good. I forgot who was actually locked here. I think it was Vegeta that was locked, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Vegeta that was locked in slot 2. Again, I did record this run a bit ago, but I remember, like, what I was generally thinking at the time of this recording. So, bam. And then, obviously, Vegeta is just not going to be taking anything there. Yeah, again, I was considering attacking Rose, but you just don't want to. Like, attacking Rose is just a bad idea. He builds up attack really quickly. And I just, like, we should just really take out Zamasu. Even though I think it would have been nice to get the counter, I still think that the damage Gogeta would do to Zamasu anyways would be more than the counter damage itself. It's just unfortunate that he's supering as the only attack in the last slot, so then, you know, that's there. But at the same time, it's better than him supering in slot 2, right? Definitely would prefer that right there. So, yeah, it was Vegeta that was locked in slot 2. I thought so. And Zamasu's action disabled, so again, there we go. At least, you know, just getting rid of a super attack is nice still. So, bam, there's the AoE, there's the Blue Goku active, but we're also able to get Vegito out here. And I was, like, thinking, you know, I think it'll be a good spot to get Vegito out here. And let's just try to confirm the kill on Zamasu. I think that would be really good for me. And just for us to also see where the super attack was in worst case scenario. But you can see I was really debating whether or not to do it, but I decided, yeah, let's go for it. Let's see where the super is. The Zamasu super is all the way at the end. Or, actually, no, the Goku Black super is all the way at the end. And I was like, again, we could risk the dodge with Killing Caulifla. I think I decided to use Vegito's active here. Because, again, you could tell I was thinking what I was trying to do. I'm like, do I use Vegito's active in this turn to protect Killing Caulifla so that we don't even have to worry about them dodging the super attack right there? Was my thought process there. Now, I will say that the app also, or not the app, the Elgato actually messes up at the end of clicking orbs at this turn, and we're going to have to reset the app a little. But, again, yeah, I'm really thinking, and right here I check Killing Caulifla's defense. They're at 1.8 million defense already. And I was like, yeah, I think that the AoE would be fine, but again, if the super attack kills us, that's not really a good spot. And I believe I decide to use it because I'm like, also getting the counter damage to make sure Zamasu's dead with that last counter at the very end would be really good. This active skill is, of course, just like super, just beautiful, amazing. Like, yes, Vegito's active, dude, is sick as hell. And I'm like, that'll also make sure we get the crit fully built up for next turn. Whenever Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta would come back around, we would have, you know, the Super Vegito's crit really done. And then we could start attacking Goku Black and start getting his health down so that we could potentially have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like, active skill if that's, like, something we're able to get there. So, yeah, there's that. And actually, we're pretty close to finishing the fight off from here, right? Zamasu is about to be killed. It is unfortunate that obviously Goku Black is, you know, building up right here before the AoE. But I was like, with 926k, again, we know Rose's AoE, it does what, 625k to the second or third character that is attacked by the AoE, based on the number. Of course, Goku Black would be getting buffed a decent amount from his attack up, but I think we would have still been fine with Killing Caulifla in slot 2, especially after the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, like, defense raise. So again, Vegito did super. He got an extra counter against Zamasu, then Here's his super attack. Zamasu super didn't really hurt at all, right? He actually, funny enough, he dodged the normal after that. But yeah, again, I was feeling pretty safe because I knew Blue Goku would be able to provide me the defense support for Akao and Caulifla in case they didn't dodge the AoE. And I knew for sure that the Goku Black super attack would not be in a spot that would, like, kill me, right? And we're very close to killing Zamasu here. I was really hoping, hey, Blue Goku, lock in for me, buddy. Just do a little bit of extra damage to Zamasu, and I think, you know, I felt pretty good right there. Yeah, see, they didn't dodge the AoE, but because of the Blue Goku raise, we were able to get that up. And then now, okay, we're killing Zamasu. We're doing some pretty good damage to Goku Black as well, just starting things off. He's already down, like, what, probably around 10% of his HP due to just the Vegito counters alone. Really, really good. Next time we had the LR Gods, we had LR Gogeta, and Blue Vegito, and then, well, I say Blue Vegito, but the Blue Goku and Vegeta. And it's like, okay, I think this, at this point, I was like, yeah, this feels like a winning run to me, luckily. Especially because Goku Black was attacking first. We were able to get the attack build up so that Zamasu's just not going to be able to lock us, right? And especially this still does count as Vegito's, like, attack raising here. Like, he's able to just, like, kind of get around that. That was very close, though. that was very close. I was like, my Vegito is 79%, though. So, you know, pretty good. Very luckily, again, we have Gogeta's active and things like that. So I actually decided to use the LR Gods active here anyways before fusing it to Gogeta, because the only reason why we have the LR Gods active here is because we're under 50% HP. So I'm like, yeah, look at that damage, 15 mil right there. Pretty good for us. Then I decided to fuse into Gogeta here. And we actually also use Gogeta's active. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to come back around to this rotation. We're going to make sure we use the Gogeta active. And then I don't recall if I used Vegito's active or if I used the Blue Vegeta. I think I actually used the Blue Vegeta active in slot 3. Really funny, we don't even come around to the other rotation with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's active skill. So I should have used Blue Goku's active last turn. I did not think we would do this much damage in this short amount of time, but because we did fall under the HP threshold, yeah, look at that damage Blue Vegeta does. Insane levels of damage. Because we fall under the HP threshold, we were able to get the Gods active, and that actually really helped a bit. But Blue Vegeta's active with Gogeta on rotation is huge. That activates the Blue Vegeta's full passive by being in slot 3 with the active skill, so we're able to put him in slot 1, 114 mil attack stat. I believe this is a rainbow version of this character, right? So, yeah, he's able to actually finish the job off. So, Rose's dead. Blue Vegeta is really good for finishing fights, dude. Look at that. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, there we go. The fight is finished. And that is basically it today. So, again, let me know what you guys are thinking about this fight. Again, it was very fun for me to go ahead and do. We will be having more no item runs in the future. I'll share like the end screen with the no items, etc., etc. But appreciate y'all for watching till the end, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.